Let me know if I have a 5 by 5 on this Friday morning at 12:20 a.m. Let me know if I have a 5 by 5. Let me pull up my accompanying piece on here. That all you, not early risers, but those of you perhaps late risers and the like, let you join in the fair and the fun. Am I coming through, ladies and germs? Am I coming through? I got to get somebody somewhere to say, yeah, I hear you. Just to make sure. Just to make sure. Because I'm not going to start talking. There's nothing worse than talking, and all of a sudden somebody says, hey, we can't hear you. It's like, oh, great. And there's always these smartasses. Oh, my God, the smartasses. The perennial smartasses. The one who say, hey, we can't hear you, dumbass. So let me see if we're coming through. It looks like we're coming through, I guess. I'm trying to catch somebody. 1 5 by 5, dare we say 1? Can we get 1? Maybe perhaps 1? One of yous. There we go. Let's see if this works. Anybody? I'm looking. Live chat. Do we see anybody at all here? Anybody? Anybody listening? Anybody hear me? Can you hear me? Tommy, can you hear me? I'm looking. There we go. ABC said Virginia self-deleted. Thank you so much, Shemk. Well, that's, we knew Virginia, we knew that was the official word from weeks ago. We knew that. You knew that, right? We knew that. There's Pamela joins us. Shem. I like Shemk. I like Shemk. That's a better one. Let me move this up here a little bit. There we go. Come on, don't you like that? The forgotten Three Stooge, Shemk. We already heard that she died, Shemk. We already heard that one. Shemp, but she did not. How do you know, Shemk? How do you know, buddy? How do you know that? Shemp, how do you know what you know? I'm serious, Shemp, calling you out on this, my friend. How do you know that Virginia was offed, as it were? How do you know that? You don't, Shemp. You don't. You said it. No, never said it. I said we never heard any word. We never heard anybody go up there and look at the tox report, the pathologist report. Nothing. We never heard anything about it. Never. Nothing. We don't know. I heard from you, sir. Shemk, I'm telling you again, we don't know. There was that one picture where she looked like it looked like almost like it was a homicide photo. But we don't know. Because there's never been any family members sent or anybody who's mentioned it at all. None. We don't know. Happy August 1st, everybody. Happy August 1st. Pamela here. Shemp starting off on the wrong foot. That's good. That's good. Bradley says, car crash weeks before death. Again, Shemp says, come on, really. English. English. What are you saying? What do you know? You don't know anything. I appreciate this telegraphic stuff, but I want sentences. Don't hit send until you have a sentence. Dictate. Use your phone, use your device. Give me a good, nice sentence. We can handle it. We're not going to be playing all night long, but you said it. That's what I thought. What you said. This is boring. Virginia, her father was on Piers, Piers, P-I-E-R-S. Did you know that? Piers, like Piers Brosnan. The other day and said that he believed his daughter was... Would somebody please look at a tox report? Is anybody asking? Any pathologist looking? Anybody here? There was a school bus that hit her in Australia. That was the story. Where have you been? We've already talked about this. Remember the story? Remember how the story, they said it was going, the school bus either didn't happen, did happen. They said they don't remember it ever happening. Or the driver himself said, no, that's not what happened. And then they couldn't recreate it. And there was no investigation, nothing. I was talking into the contraption. There you go, Pamela. Bless your heart. Shemp says, but she lived. I saw the pictures too from the hospital. Shemp, you poor child, you innocent child, you young man or woman, probably a woman or man, I don't know. So why is ABC saying so? Oh, God. Anyway, they've been saying this since day one. Somebody talk to him. Her. Somebody talk to Shemp. Do me a favor. I don't think this is for you. I really don't. I don't think this is for you. We've already said this. Anyway, let's see what else. What cities are burning? What tourists are being beaten? Oh, for God's sake. You don't know what's happening regarding the crime, the Russian What is with this group today? The woman in Cincinnati, the Russian who went back, who was beaten, pulverized, seen. Did you see the picture of the screenshot? Have you not seen this? Have you not seen the rampant? I mean, this is the number one issue that should be on every politician's lips. They're not even talking about it. Think about it. Tangled web we weave. Jeff, what the hell is that supposed to be? Is that the best you could do? Tangled web we weave? Now, my friend, here's what I want you to do. I want you to listen carefully. There is a word that is going on right now. We'll talk about this in a moment. But I saw this today, and I wanted to bring this to your attention. It was Sagar and Jetty. Sagar. You know this woman, Sagar? It's a wonderful show called Breaking Points. Have you seen this? And it was they have a young lady, her name is Crystal Ball. She sounds like a 12-year-old. She says and she means well, but she says she, by God, understands the atrocities more than anybody, okay? You understand this? She does. This is her thing. And she understands it better than you do. And if you dare ever say anything other than, what am I saying? Anything other than, how do I say this? Genocide, she goes berserk. Have you heard this one? They're going berserk over whether there is genocide. Is this a genocide? Is it not a genocide? How can you not say it's a genocide? Of course it's a genocide. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Meanwhile, the death, the destruction, the carnage, the mayhem, the horror, nobody's addressing that. We're debating whether this is a genocide or not. And this is the oldest definition of the world. And I want you to listen to me very carefully. And we'll get back to the crime in a moment. One of the best techniques I found out, one of the best techniques, is for you, whenever possible, to come up with some type of argument involving a term of art. For example, hate crime. Is this a hate crime? Somebody gets brained, somebody gets hurt, somebody's whatever it is, and then you start talking about whether this is a hate crime. And then you talk about it. Is it a hate crime? I don't know if it is a hate crime. Do you think it's a hate crime? I don't know if it's a hate crime. Maybe it's a hate crime. It's hard to believe it's a... And meanwhile, the person is robbed or hurt or harmed, but we're arguing whether it's a hate crime. It happens all the time. And I always told people, stop debating whether something is or is not a hate crime. Okay? You understand that? Stop debating just a minute. So what they do is they end up arguing, and they don't discuss whether it's, they do it sometimes with, look at Diddy. Is it sex trafficking? Is it not sex trafficking? Was it the violation of the Mann Act? No, it's not. Diddy, by the way, is looking at a number of actual cases being either reversed or dismissed post-verdict, kind of a post-judgment of acquittal, because they're arguing whether the violation of the Mann Act was the correct one or whether this was prostitution or the like. When I talk to people about this and I bring it to their attention, they look at me and they say, oh, come on, it doesn't matter. It matters like you can't believe. It matters like you can't believe. So what happens is right now as we speak, you have one group, Sagar and Bernie Sanders, and others are arguing whether this is important, whether this is genocide or not. And others are saying, well, maybe not because it's a post. And it's fascinating. Yolanda Torres says, Mike is rubbing against zipper, distorts sound. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you. Are you enjoying the show other than that? Do you like my show? Thank you for letting me know this. Well, did he serve any time? A year, year and a half, something very, very de minimis. Did he barely did anything wrong if you are willing to be persuaded? Absolutely. Absolutely. Not did anything wrong, committed federal crimes. Racketeering? No. No, no, no. No. We like your show. Thank you, Sean R. Martin Wins. Appreciate this. Sagar is the logical half of BP. Yes. Sagar is one of these he's a very interesting thing. This woman, her name is Crystal Ball. She's into the I'm so like. This is where we are today. She and Abby Martin and Anna Kasparian, they recognize the fact that this is a genocide. And you don't understand this. You don't get it. You don't get it. They do. You don't. You don't understand this. I mean, you don't understand it. You don't understand anything. They're smarter than you. They feel it more than you do. Meanwhile, we are getting nowhere. Did you see the interview with, it was, I think, Breaking Points did it. It was the whistleblower, the ex-military folk feller who was on with Tucker. It was fantastic. Did you see this? Fred Haddad Jr., they switched my name. What does that mean? No notification today. No, Fred, I go on live right at this time. That's where I just go live. Every morning at this time. Every morning, usually 12:15. I just go live. There's no notification. I just flip it on and let you know. Get into the studio a little early, spend some time and go over some things with you because you help me kind of hone these things down. How many of you believe Al Sanchez is now one arc? Well, damn it. That means something. I don't know what, but it means something. How many of you believe that what's going on is genocide? That Israel is committing genocide in Gaza? Yes or no? Is Israel committing, just press 1 for yes, 2 for no. Very simple. You don't have to write anything. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Do you believe it is genocide? 1 for yes, 2 for no. We got 1, 1, we got a 2, a 2, a 1, a 1, a lot of ones here. Now, for those who say no, do you believe it is not technically genocide? It is something horrible, but under the 1948 words, the definitional aspects, it's not justified. What exactly do you mean? How does this work for you? That's what I want to know. How does this, what do you mean? What do you mean, my friend? What do you mean? Do you think that there is no genocide? Or do you think that under the strict definition of the word, it doesn't apply? Because that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. You do believe there are horrors going on, right? And there's something about accusing Israel of genocide that you just don't do. They're saying you can't do this. You don't understand. You can't do this. You can't accuse us of genocide. It's impossible. Israelis cannot, by definition, commit genocide. Israel was, in many respects, the product of the Holocaust and genocide. Pure evil in the name of prophecy. Interesting. Is it prophecy? Was this prophesied? Or was this what? All I know is we're arguing over whether it's genocide. Archetypes writes 3. Hey, let's give a big hand right now to everybody's favorite comedian. I was waiting for this. I'm going to write 3. See, he said write 1 for yes or 2 for no. I'm going to write 3. You are so goddamn funny. It's not. To what do we owe this honor? All war is horrible. Is it? Is this war? I don't want to get into the definition. Is this war? What is a war? Is it a conflict? Do you really believe this fiction that this is Hamas? This is all about Hamas? Look, I don't want to go there. All I'm saying is this is the most incredibly fashioned, because 90, you know and I know, if you watch any of the news stories, nothing but nothing is going on in the Middle East. Nothing. Overkill at best. What do you mean overkill? Overkill. That means that the Israelis are getting a little bit out of control with this. Overkill? Overkill? Concentration camps don't have wars. What's the difference between concentration, death, and work camps? Go ahead. Anybody? Did you ever think about that? What is the actual definition between a concentration camp, a work camp, and a death camp? And are there any differences to them? Anybody? Anybody? It's one of these, it's a very interesting, a concentration camp is a place where large groups of people are detained, often without trial, for political, ethnic, religion, or social reasons. A work camp or a labor camp is a facility where prisoners are made to perform labor under duress, often in horrific conditions. And a death camp, extermination camp, is a facility specifically designed and operated for the mass killing of people. So I ask you this question. What do you believe is the case there? What do you believe is that? What? What do you believe? What, dear friend, is this particular type of situation? Does it matter to you? Does it make any type of matter to you? Anybody? You know me, I'm a kind of a definitional kind of a person. I like to know what the term is that we are using. Genocide is one of those words used way too frivolously. When do you think it is used frivolously? When was the last time it was used frivolously? When you put people in a place where they have no way of ever leaving it. No, that's just a prison, or that's a no. You see, these words mean a lot. It matters, but I'm impotent. Thank you, Fred. It suits the propaganda war. Clintoicide. What are we talking about with Clinton? What are we talking? What is Jackass Bauer in this? What conversation is he having regarding the Clintons and this? It should matter to everyone. Once one is dehumanized, we are all dehumanized. Then we are all dehumanized. And the United States government has been dehumanizing since 90% of our existence. So I think we're on to something. American Eagle not guilty. Don't know what that means. Genocide. Johnny Lane, ladies and gentlemen. Funny? Oh. Johnny just over the top. Let me see what's going on. Well, this is one of those ones where I'm sorry, I find myself kind of thinking like, well, look, I appreciate this stuff, but I got to tell you something. There's something that I find a little strange, is that I realize that a lot of people really cannot handle this. And what I want you to be able to tell me, and this is very good because I realize most people have absolutely no clue as to what's going on. This is a very interesting niche type of understanding. Most people, you and your friends, never discuss this. I always tell people, do not discuss it unless you know what's going on. I mean, forget it. Because people it is a subject powered by ignorance, nescience, and I guess you might say kind of an inability to really grasp so much a part of this that makes sense. The inability to grasp that which really makes sense. And I mean this sincerely, from the bottom of my heart. We are talking about something which is so difficult for people to grasp, so profoundly difficult. This is not something you want to talk about. We are done with the Middle East. Now we are moving east. I don't want to be ignorant. That's why I'm asking. Well, we are being basically pulled into a situation that is of no interest to us whatsoever, none. And it is because of an Israel concern, either as identified by its lobbying group, by prominent members, or God knows what. So anyway, we'll talk about that. Next, I don't understand why our country does not care whatsoever in trying to focus and I guess pay close and specific attention to nothing more, ladies and gentlemen, than what I think is important, and that is this world of, what do I say? This world of crime. You know, I'm looking up for just a moment, and we have these monitors. I'm going here, and there's a guy named Harold Ford Jr. And he's on a show called The Five. And it's a show which is, I think, primarily motivated by Greg. No, it's The Five. No, that's at 11 ago. Anyway, they're trying to be funny and witty. And Harold Ford, I think, died in the late 80s. And nobody told him. When I find myself in times of trouble, when I find myself trying to get to the really interesting aspects of the world, I look elsewhere. There was a wonderful interview, by the way, of Pepe Escobar with Judge Napolitano, which is fantastic. Watch the Mearsheimer interview with Tucker Carlson. It's terrific. Not everything, I mean, Tucker is very, very good. There's some great Lex Friedman interviews about a variety of things. There was one thing about porn addiction, which fascinates me. Porn addiction. Does anybody here have a porn addiction? The Harold Ark, Al says, I guess, The Five, I've seen that. It's funny. Harold brings balance to the group. Are you high? Are you out of your mind? Harold Ford destroys anything even remotely interesting about this godforsaken show. It is one of the most horrible things anybody's ever seen. It is horrid. Harold Ford Jr. is horrible. Absolutely, positively horrible. Terrible. Without peer. Just horrible. Horrible. That's what I'm saying. Jamie says, I love Judge Napolitano. I got my picture with him. Never had a porn addiction. If you do, the FBI will find out. Not really will find out. But I think that Ark says, it's funny. Don't know if that's funny or not. By the way, I don't understand the whole porn addiction thing. I really... What do you do? Wow, Lionel is the best talk host since Neil Rogers. That's saying something. That is saying something. I'm honored by that. What do you do? I'm serious. Do you yank your crank all day long? I know that sounds crude, but what do you do with a porn addiction? I understand drug addiction, drinking, eating, maybe gambling. What do you do with porn? Excuse me. I'm watching one more segment. One more. What do you do? TikTok scrolling feel addictive. I'm addicted to bird watching on TV. I'm addicted to so many things on YouTube. It's not even funny. Jumped the shark in the early 2000s. Don't know what that means. Don't know what jumped the shark. Oh, porn jumped the shark in the early. Were you an aficionado of porn? How much porn can you see before you say, look, I got to go outside? I don't watch The Five for facts. I watch it for laughs. I'll catch you on 77 WABC. Let's go. Where are you going there, Allie? You watch The Five for facts? You don't hear anything about the Middle East. You don't hear anything about the reality of Ukraine. You don't hear anything about AI. You hear nothing about nothing. It's always the same. A lot of good graphics. A lot of good graphics. Anyway. Anybody here from Kimberly Guilfoyle? Anybody? How about Carrie Lake? Remember her? Anybody? Forgive me, Father, I have sinned. Politics 24/7. I don't know what this means. Filipino Flower all of a sudden just writes 2. Puts the number 2 in. What 2? Tail Spud says silence. I think he's pleading the fifth. What are you supposed to do with porn? How long are you supposed to? I'm serious. How long are you physically going to watch it? Johnny Lane says, America under attack by moneyed forces in their intent in the gain of absolute control. God damn it, Johnny, you're right about that, my friend. Johnny's got it right. Listen to Johnny. For the love of God, listen to Johnny. Johnny knows what he's talking about. Pay attention to Johnny. Jesus, listen to Johnny. Listen to him. I'm not kidding around. Johnny knows what he's talking about. Don't play dumb. Don't play stupid. Johnny knows what's happening. Damn it, listen to Johnny. Listen to him. Don't give me that crazy look. All righty. Cornflakes helped with tug addiction? Unfortunately, for most people, they don't care unless the horrors visit them and touch them personally. You're right about that. By the way, Two Gales says, howdy from Northeast Texas. You're a trip. Thank you, Two Gales. Appreciate that. Two Gales, the Two Gales writes, put little emojis, little emoticons. Isn't that nice? It sure is. Anyway, folks, I'm going to get kind of ready. I'm going to be heading on out. I got to watch this I got to watch these monitors. I can't watch them. They're so stupid. But I'm serious. I might lead off with porn addiction. But the best part about 77 WABC is that I don't know where the show goes. I start up in the morning and it takes off. It meanders. It meanders. By the way, also walk around always with headphones so you can say, can't talk to you now. I'm listening to something. Oh, okay. It works like a charm. Because I'm also finding myself not wanting to talk. All right, my friends. Listen, you guys are terrific. Fred Haddad said, order a late night pizza on me. Freddie, thank you, my friend. Late night, is it early morning or is it late night? See, that we can get into the whole thing about that. There's a lot of good pizzas around here. A lot of good ones. A whole lot of good ones. Crusts and forms like you can't imagine. Who knew that basically it's something that involves water, salt, yeast, and whatever. I fall asleep laughing every night, thanks to you, Lionel. Thank you, Mac. Cheers, thanks. I love you all. Remember, I'm never yelling at you. I'm screaming at you because you drive me fucking crazy. But I love you. You're my family. I can't abandon you. I can't abandon you. I can't. But you're out of your tree sometimes. But I love you for that. But you know it's true. Oh, you're crazy. You're nuts. Meanders like the French Broad River. Strangely not named after a French broad. Who knew? Very funny. That's a good one. All right, my friends. All right, kids. Have a great and a glorious night and a glorious day. We'll be talking to you later. I fall asleep laughing just thinking about the world. Oh, little stupid. No, nothing wrong with that. All right, dear friends. We love you. Have a great and a great day. Don't forget, now go to 77 WABC. It gets really weird. Really weird. All right? Okay. All right, kids. Thank you so much. Have a great and a glorious day. And until we meet again, my friends, remember this. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.